Hey guys, I'm Ethan Page, and we're here with our very first video segment of a Race Director's Guide, Taking Strides to Your Best Race. We put out a few blogs and stuff like that on our website, just giving race directors a lot of different resources that they can use to better improve their race. And in this video blog that we're starting today, we just really want to talk about some of the things that we do that help set us apart and why they're important to your race and just things to consider when you're putting a race on. So I'm, like I said, Ethan Page. I'm the owner of Crossroads Events and the president.
I'm Justin Kidwell. I'm the manager of the timing operations for Crossroads.
Awesome. So the topic that we just kind of wanted to talk to you about today is on our disposable chip timing. You know, that's beginning to become like a standard in the industry for a lot of different reasons that we want to talk to you guys about today. And just kind of want to show off what the technology is. Maybe some of the race directors out there, new race directors, might not understand exactly what it is or what the advantages are, etc. So we just kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about what we do. So with disposable chip timing, in a nutshell, I'm just going to kind of show you here, is disposable chips are small chips. They're kind of like a sticker, honestly. And they stick on the back of bib numbers. So here's one of our bib numbers. And they just stick on the bottom right there. How that kind of works with our system is at all of our races, you know, we bring a lot of really cool bells and whistles for the participants. But one of the cool things that we bring is we bring a big aluminum truss arch, and we have all of these antennas that attach along the bottoms and the sides and stuff. They're constantly throwing a signal out there that bounces off these chips that are attached on the back of the bib numbers. And those chips are programmed with a certain number to be associated with them, bounces it back to our system. Our system records them as they're coming up to the arch. Okay, we're scanning them. When they hit the arch, it cuts off their time and they go through. So that's super important for a bunch of different reasons. In a nutshell, that's kind of how the technology works. It's a little more complex than that, but in a nutshell. And there's like a lot of really great advantages on why we use this type of tech and why it's super important. So the first one that I'm going to kind of talk to, and then I'm going to turn over to Justin and talk about some of the other advantages and stuff, is why I love to use it is because we get all those reads on people way before they get to the finish line. So like with our tech, we can get scans on people as far as 40, even 50 feet out. So we're getting constant reads on their chip all the way up to the finish line, and then we cut it off right at the finish line. So that's really important because with a few other technologies, like some of the mat systems and things like that are out there, they don't know whether they're going to get a read on a chip until it hits the finish line, which can be really bad because if they ever have a problem with a chip or they ever have a problem with the bib numbers or the participants not wearing them right, or maybe they don't even know if they are wearing the bib number. They won't know, if there's like a crowd until they're right on top of them. So they can't fix any of those issues until the participant is either at the finish line or past it. Where with us, we know if that person's wearing their bib number because some people forget to wear them. They put them in their pockets, they leave them, with their water bottles at the car or something else like that. So we know exactly what's going on with that participant well before they get to the finish line. And then we can take a lot of different measures. Again, 99.9% of the time, everything just works great and it scans them and they go through, fantastic. But if someone did forget their chip or their bib number or something else like that, we have a lot of measures built in place to where we can still make sure that we get those participants' times. So that's a really fantastic advantage of these because we know if all that's gonna happen and can take measures well before they get to the finish line, and then we have a super smooth event because we're never missing a read or we're never missing a participant. So that's one of them. I'll kind of let Justin talk about some of the other ones.
One of the other really great things about these kinds of chips, they're completely disposable. So like Ethan said, just since they are only like these little sticker things, you stick them on the back, and after that, they're completely disposable, meaning that after a race, even big numbers, a whole lot of people, you as the race director don't have to worry about having to collect chips or trying to track down anybody because they walked away with their chip, which happens all the time, especially in those really big races.
Which would be a complete nightmare. I can't imagine trying to track down like 2,000 chips or 1,000 chips or even 100 chips. when people are crossing the line, having to stop every single one of them, take them. Like these are so nice.
Not to mention the cost that would be
Exactly.
if you didn't track those back down.
Yeah.
So another really awesome thing about these is being that they're so small, runners hardly ever even know that they're wearing them. Everybody wears a bib at these races anyway. That's just kind of how they're identified at the race. And since these chips are stuck directly to the back of the bibs, it's no extra weight, it's no extra material on their body. It's just, right there on their chest.
And I feel like we get that question a lot. Like we even have some people up and they're like, hey, where's my timing chip? How are you gonna time me and stuff like that? And we're like, it's already on you. It's on the back of the bib number. So, that's really nice for a participant. They have no idea they're even wearing it. So like some of the other chips, like the shoe chips and everything else like that, they're super uncomfortable. They cut into your foot. You have to stop, untie your shoe, take it off, and give it back to them afterwards. Like one, like Justin said, they're already wearing the bib number, and two, it's such a tiny little, sticker. They have no idea they're even wearing it, and it's super accurate to boot. So
Right.
kind of has the whole 9 yards there.
Yeah. And then the fact that these are so easy to distribute out to all of your runners. It's as easy as hand them the bib. We handle all of the chip programming and sticking the chips to the bibs prior to the race even beginning. And even when we have extras, what we do with a lot of our clients is we give them a whole lot of these, just like what you see here. And it's as easy as you flip over the next bib in line,
Yep.
you peel the sticker, and you stick it on.
Just
And
matching
then-
numbers up.
Exactly.
Easy.
So, you just hand it out to everybody. They get their chips. They're happy. You're happy. Everybody's happy. And that's just a really great thing, especially at.
Definitely. Because, a lot of those things too, some other timers and systems and stuff like that, when you have to give them multiple chips, you're just kind of leaving room for error there. Everyone's going to get that bib. Everyone knows they have to wear that bib number. But, we've seen at some other races that we kind of attend as participants and stuff, to do some research on the industry and things like that is, some people might get a bib number that says number 1, but they accidentally get handed shoe chip number 23 or
Right.
something like that. And then there's a ton of confusion because they think they're this number, they're trying to explain that they're supposed to be this number, it's not in the system, yada, yada, yada. It's a lot harder on volunteers too, because now the volunteers have to track down this and that and make sure and coordinate when you can just give them one simple solution.
Right.
So, yeah.
The all-in-one package.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we
You
have
want me to do this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
So one of the really great things about these chips also, they're basically indestructible. They do really great in all kinds of weather. We've timed races in the snow, in the rain, midsummer, midwinter, all of that. And water, that doesn't really affect them all that much. But even better yet, we've seen a lot of people sometimes when they stick them to their bodies, they get kind of bent up or
Crumple
or like we said, people put them in their pockets, that kind of thing. But that's what's really great about these RFID chips is that even if they are cut, they're still going to time. They'll still read with our antennas, they'll still pick up, and everybody gets their time. Basically indestructible, and that's really awesome.
Yeah, it really takes a ton for these chips not to work. So like Justin says, that's great because, the last thing you want to be is a race director and, it starts raining and now you have to worry, well, I hope my participants get timed or something like that. As long as, we even get reads of them, people sticking them in their pockets and everything else like that. We even have some people wear water packs and stick them in their water pack. Of course, we tell all race directors we want those bib numbers on the front. We get the best reads that way, the whole 9 yards. But, we have some people not listen to the directions as, thus is life.
Of course.
And we still get the scans. So, although we prefer it the other way, the great thing about these chips is they read so well. And like Justin said, they can stand up so much abuse because so many people do kind of bend up the chips. And you'll see some other competitors' chips and stuff like that. They'll even say on the back, do not bend, do not, do this, because they kind of have a different type of hardware on the back that is, breakable, whereas these are very malleable and stuff like that, and you don't really have to worry about that. So, another advantage of the disposable chip timing that we like to offer all of our customers, and it makes you as a race director, it kind of increases the quality of your event. I think anyone that shows up and they see older, kind of more traditional forms of timing, that's kind of associated with the race too. Like, you know, why aren't they up on the times? Why do I have to be inconvenienced when there's way better solutions out there for me? So this is something that we just bring to the table. Everything that we offer our clients is, you know, we go for what is the best thing out in the industry. So, you know, we'll talk in other video segments and stuff like that. I think we've covered almost all of the aspects on this disposable chip, but we're going to kind of go over in these segments some of the other things that you can take advantage of, learn more about, see if they're a good fit for your race. But we always try to go and see, like, what is Ironman doing? What is the Boston Marathon doing? Like, what are these new technologies that we can bring on board here in the Midwest and help the race directors here have an awesome experience, and participants too. You know, when the participants are loving life and they feel like it's a high-end event, like, obviously
come back.
Yeah, exactly. Word of mouth just spreads, and it will help increase your race numbers. So, you know, again, we'll get more into it in our next segment, but, you know, we've brought in like race kiosks because they know their time as soon as they finish. We just brought in photo finisher technology this past year, so people all get finisher photos when they finish, which is, a lot of people have really liked that.
Really great, yeah.
Live results, so mom and dad can track the kid at home so they don't have to go roll out in the snow or the rain or anything like that. So thank you so much for joining us for our first edition of Race Director's Guide, taking strides towards your best race. And we'll see you again on our next segment. Thank you.